Hi everyone, this is audapostrophe. Let's continue our game of Syberia 3 on Nintendo Switch. Alright, trying to get past that checkpoint. On the way, look for that machinist. Android maker? I don't know what you want to call him. Okay, so let's see if we could go find our good friend.
Lost your way, pretty girl?
Steiner. Hello. Are you Mr. Steiner? I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Steiner. My name is Kate Walker, and I've come to pick up the prosthesis for Kirk, the Youkol spiritual guide.
And well, dear Miss Walker, Dr. Evamova has informed me that the young man was not yet in any sort of condition to withstand the operation, and that...
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
It isn't possible. That pendant you have around your neck. I would be very obliged if you would entrust me with it for a moment. Please, Miss Walker.
Wow, you have to give me that prosthetic first. Okay, whatever.
Mein Gott! An XZ-2000 automaton heart in perfect working condition. A compensating spring memory. Pendulum ventricles and small mechanical pumps. Everything seems in excellent condition. Donnerwetter! Where on earth did you steal this, Miss Walker?
I did not steal it. It's a souvenir. It's all I have left of Oscar, a very dear friend.
Ah, so. And yet I am actually very familiar with this type of precision mechanism. An infernal precision. Incredible, unique expertise. For this was a Vorarlberg automaton, Miss Walker.
Yes. It was Hans Vorarlberg who designed this object. Tell me, did you know him?
Oh, yeah. He even lived here a few years. We did a lot of work together. He taught me so many different things, you know. So it is useless to try and make up silly stories, Miss Walker. And I am afraid that I am not about to allow you to leave here as long as you have not told me the truth about where this object comes from.
Talk about Hans.
Oh, don't bother locking me in, Mr. Steiner. If you must know, the truth is that Hans Vorarlberg was someone who was very important to me. I accompanied him on a very strange journey throughout Europe. And that object in your hand is the only souvenir I have of that adventure.
That proves nothing, Himmelherrgott! Hans would never have given this to... Ah! Ah!
Mr. Steiner, are you all right?
My heart... need... my medication! Quickly!
Just don't move. I'll go and get your medication right away. No medication in sight.
Make yourself right at home. Don't mind me. I just own the place.
Who would store medication in this mess? Still nothing. An old press clipping. Kirk's prosthesis, but it looks like it isn't finished. An old press clipping.
Oh, it's so damn dark.
All that clattering must get really tiring after a while. That could do him more harm than good.
Can't even see it.
A prescription. Nothing that could help him. There's no point. That could do him more harm than good. Nothing that could help him. No way.
Wow, I wish I could see whatever this thing is.
No medication.
I can read that. Dr. I. Ziamantin, MD, Tunguska Facility of Medicine, accredited specialist in labor, health, and safety medicines. Valsembor Clinic, date March 8th. General practitioner, prescriptions, 2 vials of spirulina, spiranolerone, 3 boxes of lacilloctide. Recommendations, capsules taken daily, preferably at tea time. Am I somehow going to get this? Wednesday, April 27th, 1989. 142, La Gazette. Barnor local news. Incident at Barnor nuclear plant. Authorities downplay effects. Tempest in a teapot was how the mayor of Barnor Anatoly Mikolayov described the incident yesterday that has worried the communities around the local nuclear plant. I spoke personally with Viktor Ostolovich, director of the plant. Immediately after I was informed by my constituents complaining of noise, he stated, and I can assure you that he satisfactorily answered all of my questions. In a word, all is well. Indeed, it would seem that a minor technical incident was at the origin of the alarm. A power test conducted on reactor N3 at 1:23 a.m. caused planned radiolysis of the cooling water, which in turn caused small inconsequential detonations that were insufficiently loud to lead nearby inhabitants to legitimately react. As rumors of underground flooding and a fire raging in the facility, Mayor Mikolayov was both firm and reassuring. Spreading rumors like that is purely and simply anti-patriotic, he said pointedly. Given the importance of nuclear energy for the economy and the industry in our beautiful region, do you really think we would take an accident lightly if it were as serious as the rumors say? And the town councilor added, the reality is that the current system in the plants are so sophisticated that an accident, and by accident I mean a major one, is statistically almost impossible. When we contacted him, Director Rostislavovich, what his names, concurred. He was confirmed that he had been in touch with the Energy Ministry, which in the event saw no reason to worry. Vladimir Mayov, permanent resident. Record number of visitors for the Barnor amusement park by 50,000. That's how many entry tickets have been bought for the Barnor amusement park since it opened last year. Peter Bulikine, newly re-elected mayor of Valsembor, is delighted at the impact of the region on the region that this blah blah blah. Ice fishing drama. Conclusions of the inquest. Last winter, it stirred up emotions all over. Leo Narinsky, out on the lake to do a little ice fishing with his little brother, drowned tragically when he fell through the ice. The inquest has concluded that it was an accident, despite the testimony of the victim's little brother, who claimed that... Okay. None of that's going to help me.
Empty.
Let's just tell me where it is.
My heart. I need my medication. Quickly.
Maybe put it someplace so it's easy to get to then.
Still nothing.
I hate when games are so goddamn dark. And no gamma correction anywhere.
Who would store medication in this mess?
I mean, a certain amount of darkness is appropriate for lighting a mood, but Like, I can't even see what's going on down there. Much less know what to do with it. There's no camera options. Yeah, nothing. Your guess is as good as mine on what I'm supposed to do there. I mean, I can't even see it. I hate it when games do this. So many games fall into this pit trap, too. It's like, I don't know what systems they were developing it on. Maybe they were turning up the contrast and black levels, like, completely, totally max on their sets. Or their monitors or whatever. But, like, on anybody else's TV, this is possible to see. And it's such an easy thing to fix. It wouldn't even be very difficult to implement a gamma
Who would store medication in this
control.
mess?
Okay, so...
Still nothing. A prototype for the clinic aviary? All that clattering must get really tiring after a while.
What the hell's going on?
Who would store medication in this mess? Still nothing. Who would store medication in this mess? Still nothing. Who would store medication in this mess? Going by the smell, I'd say this cup was recently used for tea. Going by the smell, I'd say this cup was recently used for tea.
I should turn the lights on.
All that clattering must get really tiring after a while.
Weird ass angles.
Thank you for your precious help, my dearest Miss Walker. I'm afraid I may have judged you somewhat hastily.
Don't mention it, Mr. Steiner. Tell me about the prosthesis. I need to take it back to Kirk very quickly, if, of course, you agree to let me have it.
Yeah. I just have a few small adjustments to make. It involves very precise and meticulous mechanics, understand?
Will it take long? I'm sorry to insist, but I also have to give a hand to those unfortunate Youkols. I need to help them get across the lake with their herd of ostriches. I'm so worried about them.
Once the mechanical leg is at last ready, I can go to the clinic and bring back young Kirk to you. That way you only have to worry about what happens to the other Youkols.
You'd do that, Mr. Steiner? That would really be a great help.
So, perfect. But dear Miss Walker, are you aware of what lies in store for the nomads when they reach the other side of the lake?
What on earth's the matter, Mr. Steiner?
The next stage of your journey is the poor cursed town of Baranor. It has become hell on earth since the time of the last great ostrich migration. Please join me downstairs for a moment, Miss Walker. I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Oh, I already stole that newspaper. But okay, yeah, let's talk about it. Film reel.
Tools that would have suited Hans. The film's missing.
Not for long.
Baranor, the cursed city. Baranor, the martyred town. Baranor has been nothing but a field of ruins and desolation since a week after the explosion of reactor number 3 in the nuclear power plant. Valsembor is on the other side of the lake, sheltered from the prevailing winds, and fortunately it seems to have been spared from the deadly radioactive clouds. Our town was mobilized to go to the aid of our neighbors. Although our town's needs were modest when compared to such a catastrophe, there were nonetheless among us some brilliant mechanical engineers. In record time, they developed a small army of automatons capable of helping the affected people. Those men and dogs of steel could go where a human could no longer set foot without becoming seriously ill. Over there, they could be excavators, rescue workers, and stretcher bearers.
Oscar! They all look like him.
Truly magnificent pieces, Nishtvar. The XZ-2000 model is most assuredly one of Hans's major masterpieces.
Their mission was to bring back any survivors of the catastrophe to Valsembor, where the victims would receive the best care in Dr. Zemyatine's clinic. The Crystal, the fairy usually responsible for linking the towns of Valsembor and Baranor every day, carried the new type of rescuers to the scene of the drama, and brought back the survivors of the catastrophe.
So Baranor suffered the ravages of a nuclear accident. But according to that film, the automatons you designed with Hans should have helped save lots of lives, right?
I'm afraid that's not how things went. Because of Captain Opal, who... Ah, that must be Sarah. Please come this way, Miss Walker. I'll introduce you.
Is there anything else here? I think we've already met.
Miss Walker, may I introduce you to Sarah, my granddaughter?
We've actually already met. Haven't we, Sarah?
I actually owe Miss Walker a candle. Thanks to her calmness and peace of mind, I'm still here and on my feet. She found my medication and gave it to me before it was too late. Donnerwetter.
You don't mean you had another attack, do you? Ah, you're being so very naughty, Grandfather. You absolutely must let Dr. Zamiatine examine you.
Come on, stay calm, my little child. When I go to the clinic to take the prosthesis to the young Youkol, I'll stop by and see the good doctor. Until then, why don't you make yourself really useful to Miss Walker? She's looking for some way to transport the Youkol caravan to the other side of the lake.
Well, I think I've already found the solution. The boat in the film, the Crystal, it must be the ship that's docked in the port. If it was able to transport the automatons you and Hans built, it could carry the ostriches across the lake.
Ah, that's not a bad idea. But unfortunately, there's a slight problem of size, dear Miss Walker.
Which?
What on earth do you mean?
Obo became a poor wreck when he simply abandoned our automatons in Baranor. The coward now drowns his sorrows in vodka. He's convinced that he fled because of the monster in the lake. Heh! Apparently the imbecile saw the monster, Himmelgott. So he went back on his tracks, abandoning all the automatons in Baranor, as well as the people they were there to rescue.
Grandfather, I know you're still really angry with Captain Obo because he abandoned the automatons that you built with your friend Hans in Baranor. He was supposed to wait for them. They were going to take all the survivors they found in the rubble to the boat and then bring everyone here to safety in Valsembor. But in the end, when he got to the beach at Baranor and saw the disaster and all the dead, he became really afraid. The disease, the radiation, he must have had an uncontrollable panic attack, so he immediately turned back, dumped the machines on the Crystal into the lake, and came back empty-handed to Valsembor. And the automatons have been there ever since, in hell. But who knows? Maybe today he'll want to sell. I'm sure Kate will be capable of convincing him to help the Youkols. I have to go do my waitressing shift in the tavern. Come by and see me later on, okay? Captain Obo will be there.
Is that voice acted by a person?
All right, then. I'll try and convince Captain Obo. Thank you for everything, Mr. Steiner.
I don't know if I really should wish you good luck, dear Miss Walker. Baranor is only an open grave now.
Nothing else here?
Impossible, I don't believe it. He forgot to leave it open again. I don't like that new waitress working in the tavern at all. It's kicking off near the town hall.
No Youkols in Valsembor! The shopkeepers can...
job and come out onto the balcony. The voters want to talk to you.
The nomads are stealing our merchandise and our customers. The Youkols don't belong in Valsembor. The shopkeepers have had enough.
Excuse me. What's happening here?
Isn't it obvious? We're demonstrating against having the Youkol nomads parked on our doorsteps.
But what for?
Since they came to Valsembor, there's been no end to the shoplifting and vandalism, and on top of that, their souk is taking our customers. Mayor Bulyakin has to do something, and fast. We're not leaving until he receives our delegation.
But why won't the mayor talk to you?
Because he's a schmuck. He wants the nomads to continue their migration as much as us, but he's too afraid of annoying his higher-ups. And while he's gaining time by playing both sides of the board, we're watching our sales go through the floor.
The authorities are asking the mayor to prevent the migration from continuing? They want the Youkols to stay blocked in Valsembor?
That's what people are saying, but if you want my opinion, the only thing the mayor is waiting for is someone to get rid of those savages without him having to get his hands dirty.
Yes.
The shopkeepers are on strike for the first time in ages. That's not good business for anyone, if you want my opinion.
No, 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 no. The hell am I?
I don't have any coins. Too bad.
I hope you find the tavern agreeable, miss.
We're pretty lucky with all we've been through. At least we've still got places like this.
It's been hard to sell our produce since the port closed. And now those nomads show up and undercut us.
Captain Obo?
What do you want?
Edge.
May I sit down for a second?
Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry to impose, but I actually really...
You know, you kind of remind me of someone. The wife of the quartermaster that served on board the Crystal after the war. Do you realize he got married to the first cousin of the wife of a machinist?
Oh, okay. That's all really interesting, but what I wanted to ask...
That's a really great story, really. Because, did you know? So there. So the guy answers, I don't know nothing, Captain. Turns out he was hiding in the broom closet. Hilarious. Irina, the wife of the quartermaster, her name was Irina Malevna. Crazy how much you look like her.
Oh, gee. It's getting late. I have to go. You can finish telling me the story another time, Captain Obo.
So we're the captain up, huh?
Is everything okay, Kate?
Not really. I'd like to ask Captain Obo if the Youkol caravan can go on board his boat to cross over to Baranor. But I can't get a straight answer. He's completely sloshed.
I'm sorry, miss, but I really think you're wasting your time. He's getting drunk again to forget his crimes, like he always does. To forget he wasn't brave the way a captain should be. Can you believe it? In Baranor, he just picked up and abandoned his passengers. And I know, he'll never want to see that cursed place again.
I'm not sure that's true, lad. Even if he does drink a lot, the captain's a pretty good guy. Say the right thing, and you may be able to convince him.
If I'm ever lucky enough to find him sober, even for a moment, I need that drunkard to listen to me.
Maybe I can help you with that. I'll make him one of my famous small restoratives. After that, he'll want to sleep for 3 days, but at least his mind will be clear.
Thank you.
I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much, both of you.
Don't mention it. The way the Youkols are treated here is an absolute disgrace, so if we can help out...
Has Captain Obo taken the crystal out of port since leaving Baranor?
He's been far too drunk ever since then for that.
And anyway, the port's been closed since the tragedy of Baranor 20 years ago.
Do you think the crystal is still in sailing condition after all this time?
I'm sure there'll be a few repairs to do, but Obo never stopped keeping it in shape, you know. He loves his boat, despite everything.
Captain's flight.
Do you know why Captain Obo fled Baranor?
He must have been completely traumatized by what he saw there. The catastrophe, the victims, and then the radiation. He unloaded the automatons on the beach, but he didn't expect they'd bring the survivors back right then. He just cracked, completely snapped. Full astern and goodbye all. Can you even imagine?
Afterwards, he came up with that story of a sea monster appearing and attacking his boat.
Yes, the old legend of the monster of the lake. Convenient, isn't it?
The automatons.
Who knows what became of the victims and automatons the captain abandoned?
No, everybody hates the captain for that. But nobody volunteered to take the helm of the crystal in his place to pick up the survivors. If there are any left in Baranor. They're all dead now, that's for sure.
Grandfather says that the automatons would have broken down really quickly with nobody to maintain them.
Go see the captain. Sarah will bring you the restorative when it's ready.
Alright, so I've got to find something to convince the captain to stop being a drunk bastard and let us use his ship. Or boat. I think it's a boat. The ship was over here, I think. Oh no, it's over there. Never mind.
Right. Just need to find the owner of this place, then... as deserted as the outside.
Hello? Anyone here?
Given the number of seats, this must be some kind of ferry, some kind of transport. I'll just take a peek. Nobody will ever know.
Obo's logbook. Let's take a look. Logbook. Fyodor Ivanovich Obo, proud commander of the Crystal. I'm a man, and because I err, I am a man. F. Dostoevsky. Okay. Oh. 5/2/1989. That was written by a coward. Coward. The title is less prestigious than captain. It was nonetheless preferable to the prospect of once again being confronted with the lake and the red eyes that lurk there. Its eyes. I suppose I should start from the beginning, now that I've thrown the old log overboard so the tale can be told afresh. Everything is ready. Room for my account, my confession. As, to judge by the speed with which the bottle of vodka is emptying, there is little time left before I plunge into a deep stripped of nightmares. Or a sleep stripped of nightmares. Why did I say deep? There's little time left before I plunge into a sleep stripped of nightmares. I never really knew why they asked me to become commander of the Crystal. I have to say that at the time I was a young wolf, dressed to the nines and proud. Merchant Marine, Navy. There wasn't a port from Albad to Baranor where they didn't toast the health of the Captain Fyodor Ivanovich Obo. Not to mention a few black eyes and a gap-toothed smile handed out along the way. The fact remains that when Valsembor asked me to take the helm of the Crystal, I accepted, and years of happiness followed. 20, in fact. The work was easy and enjoyable, consisting of daily runs between Valsembor and the different towns on the other side of the lake. Nodosk, Tunguskaya, and Baranor. Damn, Baranor.
Poor Captain. Even though his superstitions terrify him, he's obviously dreaming of a second chance.
Baranor is the town just across from Valsembor, on the other side of the lake. Since that crazy mechanic from the west set up his amusement park there last year, all I was doing was transporting tourists going to it. But that was before the accident in the power plant, before Baranor became the radioactive hell that it would remain for centuries and centuries. Lots of people had survived the meltdown. They got way more radiation than they were supposed to, sure, but they came through it alive. So, given the Crystal's record, and its captains too, the authorities immediately thought of us when it came time to go rescue those poor bastards. The mission was simple. Unload the rescue team onto the beach at the Baranor amusement park, wait for them to come back with survivors, then take everyone back to the Valsembor clinic, until all the survivors were safe and sound. Despite the risk and the terrible sight of all those bodies, the first few crossings went as planned. Then things got out of control, because that's when it arrived. Fear. Everybody who says my name now, the way you spit it on the sidewalk will tell you. After all those crossings, the radiation finally put the wind up Obo's sails. What he says he saw came straight from a bottle. That drunken's more scared of the atom than the RLC smugglers. But on my honor as a sailor, I swear that's all wrong. Sure, just thinking about that pernicious radiation, invisible to the naked eye and capable of burning you and creating countless mutations, is enough to give me the cold shivers. Of course, it put the wind up my sails. Worse, in reality, a nameless terror, glacial and dark, like a moonless night. But that's because I saw it. The monster of the lake, with all those arms stretching out forever, its evil eyes shining with a cunning and malevolent intelligence. Those eyes. So yes, I know I can never make up for the harm I caused by abandoning the rescuers and the last survivors in Baranor. That damn me forever. I'd also be lying if I never thought about going back to challenge the monster fair and square, look it right in the eyes and try to make up for my crimes. But what good would it do? That won't bring back the people I left to die. nobody would forgive me. The facts have shown that I'm too gutless to agree to be led into hell by one of its most eminent representatives if it's not going to do anyone any good. Totally gutless and selfish, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless, the only thing that counts for me now is keeping the lake and its inhabitants safe from my presence on board the Crystal Land. No more pretending. The truth is that I need to protect myself from the lake and that cunning devil it hides at all costs. Now I approach the end of these lines. I can't stop looking at the crystal's ignition key, that old trinket that's been in my pocket for 20 years, and that I've used so many times to set course on the lake. I see the bottle of vodka is empty, and yet my mind is clear. Far clearer than it was when I fled Baranor, since my damnation. Right now, at this very moment, I know how to nip any suicidal inclination in the bud, any sudden urge to confront the horror that awaits me on the lake bed. Where did that damn jacket get to? Okay. Anything else around here?
It looks like it needs repairs. Too bad.
Yeah, I'll just drive this thing myself. Okay, so they actually did rescue some people. But then he saw a monster, got scared, and never went back.
Nobody here either.
It's kind of a big location. Oh, okay, it's a TV screen. I was like, what? What am I looking at?
Go and talk to Captain Obo. I'll bring you his restorative.
Looks like tomato juice.
Take this, Captain. This one's on the house.
My God! This piss water unbattens the hatches, swabs the deck, and opens the portholes. Hello. miss?
My name is Kate Walker, Captain Obo. We met each other earlier.
To what do I owe the honor of your presence at the table of the regrettably famous Captain Obo?
Cokes, I guess?
This is good news, Captain. You're back at the starting block again. You have a new beginning, a new dawn.
Haha, now that's a good show of spirit, Miss Walker. What'll you be having now? It's my round.
I'd rather you listen to me. You're my only hope of finding a solution to my problem.
Do tell me about it, please, miss.
Because the Youkols and their ostriches are stuck here in Valsembor, it's causing a serious problem among the people in your community. Plus, the nomads have to continue their great journey. Only you, Captain Obo, can defuse the situation by taking them on board the crystal.
You're very wrong, Miss Walker. Everybody will tell you that I'm incapable of giving a hand to anyone.
I offer redemption?
I took a look at your logbook, Captain. I read what you wrote when you fled Baranor.
So in that case, you know what I am, right? I'm damned and rotten to the core.
Let me tell you something, Captain. I know that you need to redeem yourself, and I just may be able to help you do that.
How in the hell?
Take the Youkol caravan to Baranor in the crystal. The migration must go that way.
Baranor? That's impossible. You can't go to there anymore. Never again. Too much happened. Too many died. But also there, in the water, I saw the hellish red eyes of the monster of the lake. Beast as big and long as my boat. Ask your Youkol friends what they think about it. They call it the Kilak, the evil spirit of the lake. The devil guarding the doorway to hell.
Captain, I think it's time for you to clear your head of all these fanciful stories designed to scare people. Everywhere in the world where the water is deep, people have come up with legends designed to keep children safe. Come on, get up, Captain Obo. Show me what you're made of.
Miss Walker, first of all, I have to say that you're an incredibly stubborn woman. I'd even say that you're a real, Anyway, I'll stop there. But I get it.
And what am I to conclude from your appraisals?
All right. You can get your gang of little savages and board the crystal. I'll take you.
Oh, thank you, Captain, really, with all my heart. And thank you on behalf of the Youkols.
Oh, but be careful now, Captain Girl. You're not there yet. There are 2 conditions, and they aren't negotiable. First, we stop by Naldas. It's a little town just a bit south of Baranor. That will mean we avoid the most radioactive zones, but it won't actually take you too far off your path. And second, we also sail by day. I'm not going to finish up on the lake monster's plate. And it sleeps during the day. The beast is usually a bit of a night owl anyway.
I accept, Captain Obo.
In that case, all hands on deck now, sailor, because we've got work to do before we can hoist the anchor.
Come on, Kate. You hurry off and meet with the captain before he changes his mind. I'll go tell Grandfather to join you on board the crystal with Kirk.
Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, that wasn't too bad. I thought that was going to go a lot worse, actually. Oh boy, this game does not run good. I mean, I really like it. I like all the Syberia games. But yeah, it suffers, technically. A lot. And I'm not sure if it's just because of the Switch or because the engine itself is clunky. I mean, probably a little bit of both. Alright, looks like it's saving. So why don't we stop it there? This is Apostrophe. You've been watching Syberia 3 on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.